I'm well. Okay, so you're going to talk to us about an event that you've got coming up this week, Saturday, that, you know, a lot of us should be attending. In fact, all of us should be attending. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that all of us should be attending, and we actually really do want everybody to attend. The event's called Teaching Our Own, the Black Homeschooling Fair, and even though the connotation of homeschooling is that you're a parent at home full-time with your child, teaching them as a replacement for them going to school, at this event, what we're really trying to do is just encourage parents of children of African and Caribbean descent or mixed heritage to just become more empowered to do more with their children, either a full-time homeschooling or part-time homeschooling, or just doing more with our children around their schooling, after school, weekends and holidays, because it is becoming more and more apparent that the school systems are just not equipped to provide for the cultural and spiritual needs, emotional needs, social needs of most children, in fact, but in particular of children in colour. The vast majority of resources out there for homeschoolers in particular are not focused at children of colour either. So if you do go the full-time homeschooling route, it can become quite isolating because there's not ready access to a lot of groups of homeschooling families of colour all coming together to teach our children our culture, our history, and things that really pertain to them. A lot of parents also find that the way that our children are taught in school is in a way that it doesn't necessarily expect our children to achieve, whereas the vast majority of the conscious community in the UK, and I would say that the vast majority of people of colour are becoming so much more conscious, more and more, and it's nothing to do with, you know, your hair being in an afro or your hair being in locks. Just the mentality of our people is waking up so much, and a lot of us are realising that it's more important for us to invest time in our children now more than ever and teach our children the greatness of their ancestry. So we expect a lot from our children, but it doesn't seem like the school system does. So the more that we can do to encourage and help and support parents to take steps to do more with their children to any degree, we truly believe that this is going to have an impact on our lives right now and then our children's lives and our lives in the future. So at the event there's going to be talks and workshops and black-owned businesses selling products and services to help support parents in their journey to doing more with their children, educationally and spiritually and culturally and emotionally.
That sounds brilliant. Now, you've got a lot of experience about homeschooling because you homeschool all your children. How many children have you got, sister?
I have 5.
Okay. And take us through...
Congratulations.
See, we're clapping for you in the studio. We're clapping for you in the studio. And take us through the process. Take us through the process of homeschooling your 5 children. And is it how many girls and boys? What's the mix?
Okay, so I have 4 girls and 1 boy. I had another boy who transitioned to the ancestors shortly after he was born because he was born prematurely. But remaining with us, we have 4 girls and 1 boy. So the oldest is 9, and then 6, and then 5, and then 3, and then nearly 2. So, do you know what? The thing is, with homeschooling, with regular school, there is kind of like a structure and a system, and schools have to have a system and a structure because they can't afford to cater to the individual needs of each and every child. And we know that each and every child has different ways to learn. Some children learn more academically, other children learn more hands-on and vocationally. So they can't really cater for that in school, so there has to be kind of like a system and a process. Whereas at home, things happen very much more organically. You can look at it, even though I have got 5, which is a little bit more than some other families, it still gives me the opportunity to see the way that each of my children learn and the things that they're all interested in, and allow them to kind of work with the things that they really like. So my oldest daughter, my husband's an artist and a graphic designer, and my oldest daughter loves fashion design. She loves drawing and art and those types of things. Our second daughter is really into things like martial arts and active stuff, gymnastics, that type of thing. Our third daughter loves cooking. So even though there's a time of the day for things like maths and language and reading and cultural studies, there's also enough freedom for me to allow each of the children to go off and pursue their own interests. So each homeschooling day looks very different. There are some homeschooling days when we just get the house in order. Everyone's got a chore to do so that they can learn those kind of life skills of cooking and make sure their room's tidy and, like home economic type stuff. Other days it's very, very, very academic. They start the day learning a language, they then go on to an hour of math, they then go on to an hour of language, they then go on to an hour of science or geography, or then they go on to another structured activity. But every day is very different and organic. Some days we just go for a walk in the park, and as we're walking we discuss things that we see or that we've heard. I mean, today, for example, I really hate Disney, I don't hate the strong word, but I hate Disney princesses. It really annoys me, and it really annoys me when I see people of colour and their children have got like a Disney princess top on or bag and stuff like that. So we had a book that was given to us, and it was Disney princesses, and it had the whole thing about, there was a girl, and she had to become a true princess to save someone who had been, a spell had been cast by a witch, and this person had been put to sleep, and the girl had to be a true princess to wake the child up. So this morning, we spent about an hour discussing how those types of stories came about. The fact that witches were actually witch doctors, which were actually women like me who were natural healers. But when Caucasian communities came to our countries and saw us using herbs and natural things to heal, they called us witches and they portrayed us as being evil or disagreeable. And that was never, ever what it really was. It was just because of a misconception. And the whole thing about, to become a true princess, this girl had to comb her hair with a special brush. And the more she combed it, the longer and straighter her hair became. All of that kind of stuff, they're not going to learn at school that all of that is nothing to do with our culture.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's up to us as parents, and that's another reason why we call the event Teaching Our Own, because there's no one better place to teach our children the greatness of their ancestors and them now, from their physical beauty to their mental capacity, than us. So, yeah, that's kind of what we do.
It sounds fantastic, and sounds like you have fun every time you teach them. Okay, just before you go, plug your event. Tell the people, tell the nation where they should come this weekend.
Thank you. So, we're going to be having the Teaching Our Own Black Homeschooling Fair at the Chestnut Community Centre, which is 280 St Anne's Road in Tottenham. The event's going to be from 1 till 6 p.m. and you can go to teachingourOwn.co.uk to get tickets. Tickets are £7 for one adult, £12 for two adults, £9 on the door, and children 16 and under are free. There's going to be talks, workshops, chess for the children, the veg playground outside, good wholesome cooked food. There's going to be a raffle, there's going to be giveaways, it's going to be a really good event, and there's going to be an opportunity for parents of colour to all get together in one place, start networking so we can really build.
That sounds absolutely amazing. Listen, another round of applause for our sister. I don't know where you find the time. Five children and organise an event. I don't know where you find the time. But you know, our sisters are strong anyway. Yeah, our sisters are strong. All right, thank you, Leah. Well, I will see you on Saturday.
Thank you very much. I want to highlight Station again for promoting this event for us also, and the work that you're doing in the community to bring these kind of events to the people who really need to hear it. So big up to you for that as well.
Blessed sister. We'll see you on Saturday.
All right, take care.
Thank you very much. Okay, Sister Leah, we've got the homeschool event.